They have not left the lobby yet, but
They
guys,
they have
welcome
not.
back as we are trying to get our technical difficulties all squared away as these teams looking like they're ready and raring to go here in the warm-up as everyone exits the lobby here. So guys, just bear with us a moment as we try and get the lobby recreated. And I hope everyone's having a good start to their weekend. It's been a pretty wild week for me. I've had my boss retire last week, so it's been absolutely nuts at work. They did not have the foresight to hire a replacement. So it's been rather hectic.
God, my condolences.
Hey man, it happens. They're trying to save that big time salary he had all year. He was one of the most top paid people at our company, I think, because he had so many years in. He was grandfathered into so many like different like pension programs and all this stuff. He was just making money hand over fist. So I'm not surprised that they were ready to let him move on to greener pastures with his retirement because they were bleeding him dry for the most part. But now the problem comes when I have to take over
Oh,
since I was
you
the
get the reins.
yeah, I'm the youngest person at my particular facility, and I was his assistant, was the assistant manager for the account that he worked on, and it is just bedlam. All right, guys, and it's looking like we have all of our people back in the lobby, so we are going to get down to the pitch as Krakens going to be taking on Griffins, as it's going to be Alone and Zesty versus Fish and Kip.
And Kip joining just a little bit early. There we go. I think we're all good to go. Everybody's in the lobby, and picks for player of the game. Bit early, but we'll see what happens.
I got Kip. No doubt in my mind. He's been the MVP during every single one of his games during the regular season. And Fish trying to dunk this one back down and in and Alone kicks this one out. He'll try and turn this one to the far side. Kip able to get a touch as he'll step into this 50-50. Back down across the line. Zesty looking for a little air dribble action, and Kip deflects it away Alone, trying to step up into it. 50 and Fish sends it to that side while Kip all sorts of time now. Kip with a little space. He'll be challenged in mid. He'll just try and take a random 50 as he rotates back around. This one dunked down in front. Fish steps in front of Alone to get the save. And some early action here from the side of Griffins, pressing up and challenging really aggressively here.
And honestly, I think that all that time that Kip had earlier, like he had pretty much the entire field to work with, and the Griffins still came up and managed to get a 50 out of it. So I think if they want some more, if the Krakens want some more scoring opportunities, they have to take more advantage of that field that they're given.
Kip trying to get a shot on Zesty to that short side. Kip with a chance, can't let it loose, and Zesty will send this one the length of the field. Fish back up for this one. He'll slam it off the sidewall, read by Zesty. Kip, he'll rush to this one. Alone just going to back off. Kip going to take this guy. Not much boost. He'll cut it down. Look for the bump out in front, and Alone sends it deep. Zesty looking for the backboard read, and that one just going to skirt wide as Fish going to take over, and Alone is going to shadow him. Fish still going to stick it with it to the corner. Alone can't get a Kip shot. Short side. Zesty, big save, and Fish just going to retreat as Alone takes it across. Fish will leave this as Zesty hammers it. Kip across that backboard pass. Alone, he'll try and trap it on his car. Foot race now. Kip against Zesty. Back out in front. Gets the touch and in. And Kip starting the scoring off for Krakens.
And finally, it pays off for Kip. He has all this space. Zesty, unfortunately, just couldn't put on the Jets enough to get back for that ball. And 1-0, just over 2 minutes gone by here in game one. And I think, Griffin's got to step it up at least a little bit.
Kip trying to get back to that as Zesty. Look for a little double tap off wall. That one sent back down. Kip takes the 50 across mid as Alone challenges him. Kip looking for Fish. Fakes it. Originally fake. to the backboard. Still there. A squishy save from Malone as he pushes it out. Kip, last man. Kip just buying time from Fish as he'll get the demo. Now it's 2v1 downfield. Kip fakes the pass across and Alone not buying it. Alone now in a little bit of a foot race of his own, but Fish cutting that pass off, and he will take this one back downfield. Zesty off the sidewall. Fish back down to Kip. He'll take a flick to the short side and in, and Kip with his second goal of the game.
And so far, the Krakens they're outplaying the Griffins actually by quite a bit. They're making more use of the demos. They're using their passes. They have each other in a good place to make a play. And besides, that early kind of misplay of not using basically the entire field that was given to them, I think they've adjusted and they've played very well since.
Yep, good read on that defensive front. Touch back across. He'll just take his time with this, but immediately challenged. And Griffins are having a right game plan coming in. Not giving Kip any time with the ball is definitely a strategy you want to try and employ, as he is insane when he gets it right here. He'll go for the bump right there, and Kip able to get the air dribble bump goal that he had looked for previously now.
And this is why you got to pressure Kip as much as you can. Zesty, try as he might, he cannot get the ball away. Goes for the body instead of the ball, and unfortunately it's not that's not quite how it works. You gotta get the ball before anything else, and by that I don't mean ball chase, but when it's in front of you, you don't want to bump the car, because they can just as easily get the ball around you with a quick flick.
Zesty, a little pop over, still has control. Fish gets demoed for his trouble, but able to push it aside before then. Kip not able to take control yet. He'll fake the 50. Cuts back down. Gets a touch over top. He'll just rotate back for boost as Fish steps in. Shot. Far side. Zesty with the save, but it's a double commit. But Alone had a little time, but Kip just going to rush it down and take the shot, and Kip puts another one in.
And Kip, like we said earlier, playing the MVP. He's got 4 goals on 8 shots in this one, and Fish pulling up, a little bit of support. He has 1 assist and a save to go along with 2 shots to his name. But really, was there any doubt as he gets another demo there? It's basically the Kip show.
Yep, looking for a little double off the wall. Gets the ankle in, clip it and rip it. Kip popping off in game 1 as he scores a ridiculous angle from the sidewall. And it's pretty safe to say they probably have game 1 secured here with that dagger. And Alone and Zesty have to find a way to keep it away from him. One of my comments was going to be to try and keep it to the sidewalls, but Kip proving he can take a shot from just about anywhere on the field. And as he goes for another one, he'll take that down to the short side, but off the sidewall instead. Fish can't get the double, as Alone will just hammer this one down to corner. Kip. A touch. It'll come back to Zesty. He'll try and control through the middle of the field. Gets a touch as Fish will send him to the stratosphere, and Alone back for this one. Has a man in center. Alone trying to put it back to Zesty. Kip with a read. Shot on and Fish with a save. Zesty dunks it back down in front, but not enough on it. And Fish is going to calmly take this one across the midfield line. He can't get the lift on it as Kip all the way back to his own corner. This 50 going to score it out front. Alone with a chance, and Fish with a save to preserve the shutout. And Krakens take game 1.
And if I'm the Griffins here, right, Kip isn't, he can play it, like you said, from pretty much anywhere. He's got 9 shots and 5 goals to boot. But as we see here, he's got 0 saves. So if I'm the Griffins right now, basically what you got to do is maybe try, spacing it out a little bit. Don't give him the time. That's kind of a given. But at the same time, just try and keep the ball itself away from him as much as possible. Play a bit of keep away if you can. Get those passing plays out.
Yeah, or else you just need to force him into a 50 and try and get downfield. Because if you can draw him up into your defensive zone, you can kind of get a clean break. Fish is that last man back, and Zesty and Alone have proven that they can take some shots from those odd angles and try and put it on net. So Griffins Gonna have to come up with a little bit of a different strategy because Kip has been just all over the field. I would say do not go near the middle of the field because he has just been controlling the ball extremely well and just using the width of the field that they kind of give him as he advances through that midfield line. And Krakens coming in with all the momentum headed into game two.
And even if Griffins do put up, they put a ball up into the midfield or whatever the case may be, if they don't follow it, which I mean they should be anyway, but if they don't follow it, you can bet Kip is going to be there. And I mean, he can catch, he can dribble, he can do basically whatever it takes. So if you can shut Kip down, I'll give Fish credit. He's played pretty solidly so far. Basically, he's the second fiddle to Kip. But if you can shut Kip down, you have so much more open space to deal with, and you give yourself so much more of an opportunity to win.
Yeah, and it might not even just be shutting Kip down. Maybe it's just more picking on Fish. He's self-proclaimed that he's a little rusty. He hasn't played in a good month or so. So trying to target him in any way, shape, or form. Going to be another key point for Griffin as alone. Takes this one over. Kip just going to play shadow defense. Zesty to that side wall. Kip able to get a touch. Alone. Going to try and step back in. Never mind. He'll peel off as the demo almost comes through. Alone baits it out. Pass over to Zesty and Fish with the defense. Alone not able to hammer it. Zesty tries for a demo of his own as Kip is going to force this one. A pinch to that sidewall and Fish. Gonna go to take this one out. Maybe a little miscue as both players miss on either side. Now Kip 1v1 against Zesty. Kip looking for another air dribble bump, and Zesty says no. And Alone gonna try and break it out. So credit to Griffins coming up with a little bit of a different strategy here in game two, and it's looking like it's working out for him at least early on.
Fishman looking to go back the other way. He's got the pass out to Kip. He's to his right, but he tries to cut it back by Alone, and he can't do it. Zesty only has one to beat. He's got the touch over, but Kip plays it well. Alone has a shot, but it's just over top. And he gets the double tap, and it's by Fish. And Griffins take their first lead with their first goal of the series.
Alone thought he had some daylight to shoot at on the first one. Opts to pop it up and just dunk it down in front of Fish. Great solo play there, and Griffins taking their first lead of the series. That is their first goal of the series after getting shut out in game one, so it has to feel good for them. Getting an additional one, but looking to answer back here is Krakens, and Alone taps this one out. Fish back to Kip. Can't get the touch as this one over to Zesty with some time in the corner, and Kip will challenge him. Kip maybe looking for a little doomsy dish. Opts to throw it down to Fish, but look out. Zesty open net the other way. Transition goal for the side of Griffins, and 2-0. They're looking good.
And I don't know what happened to Kip right now, and also Fish as well. But it seems like there's a bit of pressure getting to them. They've been making, even though it's been just over a minute and a half, they've been making many more mistakes, and Griffin's just being able to capitalize on those. And Fish trying to get one back and does. And I think that was like 3-4 seconds after the 2-0 goal, and Krakens are back on the board.
Yeah, a little bit of a caster curse there as Fish pots in the open net off the face-off. So 2-1. Krakens within striking distance again as Zesty gonna leave this one for Alone as he'll take the boost along the way. Alone looking for the pinch back. Kip all over it. Gets the save to the side. Alone just trying to buy time for his team to rotate back. Kip looking for a little wave dash. Great recovery by Kip to get this goal. And now all tied up, and Krakens right back where they want to be.
And I'm curious as to where Zesty was on this play. Maybe getting boost, or maybe got bumped or something. But I don't think, in my knowledge of Rocket League, I don't think there should be two players going back on their own net as the other two are in front of them. As now looking to take the lead, the Krakens up 3-2 thanks to Fish.
Fish just snow plowing through Kip to get this shot. Ends up working out for him as the face-off goal bears some fruit. So Krakens 3 unanswered goals now. And Griffins, a little bit of a design kickoff. Alone. Can't get back to it. Zesty. That's a gimme ball over for Kip. Gets demoed in the corner. Fish out front, and Zesty able to turn it away. Big fake from Kip. He has some space. Fish looking for maybe a demo out in front. Never mind. Turns off the play as Alone able to get back off that demo in that far side. And Zesty gonna look for a transition. Kip with some control on the backboard. So he takes this one over. Kip gets a reset. Oh, what a touch. And Zesty last man. Kip looking for the demo play. Looks for it to roll in. Kip with some BM on the line. And Fish with the goal. Oh, man. Great solo play out of Kip in midfield.
And I mean, like we said at the beginning of the series, Kip easily the MVP pick, and that he is showing exactly why, as he is really doing it all. There was not a whole ton of need for Fish to grab this goal from Kip, but he did anyway. And I'm sure he likes the score boost. But my goodness, Kip, what did you put in your cereal this morning?
Kip tries for the little musty pass across. Fish gonna take it instead. He'll look for a pinch down the wall. Alone interrupts that. Alone against Kip. Fakes the shot. What a save from Kip as he backflips it to corner. Hey, Kip. A long flick out that Alone answers. Fish steps into this one. Double commit out of Griffins, and Kip gonna look to capitalize. Hits it down to corner. Has a little time. Gets the recovery. Back down. Short side. Alone. Back out in front, and Fish nets the goal, but Kip again setting this play up. Great little wave dash recovery to get this pass up the wall.
Just the relentless nature of Kip to try and do what he can to get this ball out is, some players would have just tried to kind of pop it over instead of going straight through, and Fish another kickoff goal and make that now 6 unanswered goals. And the question after the big moment for Griffins going up 2-0, the question became, could they play with the lead? And the answer, unfortunately, has been a resounding no.
Griffins trying to mount a comeback here with a minute 30, but 4 goals, a tough task to try and achieve as Zesty, that one dunked down in front Alone, trying to get some speed off the sidewall. Fish just trying to hamper him. Looking for a little double tap off the backboard. It's still there, and Kip with another save. He'll get a flip reset as Zesty just going to wait him out. Fish across the midfield line. He'll be 50 by Zesty. Back down. Kip avoids the demo as Alone came in. And Fish, good defensive touch. Alone trying to get this back out in front. Kip already on that as he will send it all the way down the corner. He looks for a touch. Nothing doing as he is bumped off the wall by Alone. Fish cuts it back. Has a chance to center. Fish, sharp angle, out in front. Kip right there. And team play from Krakens has been the name of the game.
And nobody out in front for Griffins. The double commit on the one ball. And that is one thing that you do not want to do, is leave Kip open like that, especially when somebody like Fish is feeding him those passes. As now we take a look at the scoreboard with 35 seconds left to go. And I mean, just seeing the scoreboard, is shot on by Alone, but just off the post. 11 shots for the duo and 6 saves between the two of them. But, it really has been a team effort through and through for the Krakens.
Yep. Gets the reset, but no shot. As Fish try and pressure this one down. Zesty can't get the hit, so Alone. A lot of space in front of him. Alone flicks that one. Kip still on the defense. Alone shot on, and Kip just gonna let it drop, and Krakens taking game 2.
In Krakens, I don't even know what to say about this team anymore. And it's all good things. It's all good things. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know what the Griffins could try. I mean, it seems like it's just a lack of adaptation, or maybe whatever they do, think of trying. Kip and Fish are all over it first, and they're just trying to get something going, but none of it seems to be working.
Yeah, Kip has just impeccable reads on where the ball is going to be. We've seen it a lot on Kraken's defense, is why even though Griffin does have 10 shots to the 11 of Kraken, that they score is just that much of a difference, because Kip has such a good read on the ball. They've controlled the pace of play because of it. And Fish 5 goals to his name as well this time round. Has been doing a good job supporting Kip on that back line. Has generally played that second man role, letting Kip kind of go buck wild on offense. And, you see it in these good 2v2 teams where if they can augment it that way by just having somebody play those kind of roles where it's a first, second man situation, uh, it definitely hammers it out for both teams and both teammates to kind of see where each of them is going to be playing. So Griffins maybe just have to pack like a 1-2 punch when they go to challenge Kip. Just send that second man in and, kind of leave that backfield open because he has been getting to all these 50-50 balls that have been around that midfield line.
And that comes with the slight caveat of if they're going to leave that backfield open, they better make darn sure that they're getting to that ball first and they're forcing the 50s, basically doing anything they can to keep it out of that backfield. Because if it gets there, then they're in for a world of trouble.
And I mean, at this point, what do you have to lose? Kip and Fish have put so many points up on the board that any change in play style might throw them off here alone. Looking for a little dunk down in front, gets a touch, oh man, thought he had the demo on Kip there to set the play up, but Kip just a millimeter ahead as that one goes just wide. Zesty gonna wait for the touch. This one up over top, Kip giving him a lot of space. Zesty gets the reset, back out in front, double commit, and Kip looking to go the other way, has Fish downfield. Kip interrupted as Alone comes back across. He'll sit on this backboard as Zesty try and push mid, pre-flip from Alone. Has a man on the far side, and Kip just going to slow this one down. Fish. Kip looking for maybe another demo play as he tries to roll it back in. Gets the 50 out in front, and Fish denied by Alone on the goal line.
I don't know how Fish managed to get that, whatever play that was, as it looked like he was going to go bump his own teammate, but he managed to come around, almost gets the goal. Now they're coming back on the counterattack, and Alone can't quite get the ball out, and Kip has the shot again. Fish trying to knock it down and hopefully get on the board early because, I mean, that's what they've been doing. They've been scoring early and often, and that's pretty much the game plan.
Back to Kip, looking for a little double off the crossbar and down. And still scoreless here as Fish trying to push it to the sidewall. Alone denies him. Alone back across midfield. Kip is going to try and change angles, but Zesty starting to hop those passing routes. Zesty starting to get a better read on where the ball's going to be off these Kip touches. And Griffins still trying to get a little offense going as Kip looks for the double touch. He'll fake it, and Fish, lone man back. Chance here for Griffins. Zesty, good commit, and Fish sticking with it. Able to get the challenges. Cool as a cucumber as Zesty tries to find Alone. Gets the touch. Zesty back down in front. Open net, and Griffins score the first one here in Game 3.
And like we've seen before, they scored the first couple of goals the last game, and that ended up not mattering in the slightest. But a nice touch out here by Alone just to put it in front right to the open space. And that's what they need to do. They need to make more use of that open space that's given to them, even though it's not much. But, as the saying goes, if you're given an inch, take a mile.
Zesty trying to do just that. Forces the 50 right out in front as Kip able to deflect it away. He gets across midfield, looks for the breezy. He ends up getting a nice touch. And Zesty forced to put it to that opposite side. Now some space. 2v1. Alone. Going to cut into this ball. Has Zesty in midfield. Kip just going to wave dash across. Doesn't get the greatest recovery. Chance here for Zesty to center, but Fish comes in and denies any opportunity of that. Alone. Looking for a man out front. This one going to bounce back down. Still there. Zesty not able to take the shot as Fish. Might have got a little bump on him. I wasn't sure. And Kip forces the 50, but not out. Good pressure here by Griffins. Fish. Long touch to midfield. Gets a touch over top. Still back down in front of Kip. Not able to recover into the shot. Zesty. Going to take Kip off the ball. Alone. He'll turn this one around as Fish tries to put it back towards the net. Alone. Gets a good bump again. And Zesty towards the front. Alone. Takes this one away. Still back in front of Kip with a blast that goes just off the crossbar. And both these teams finding some offense here as we go back and forth with the score. Still in favor of Griffins. Back out Zesty. Shot. Fish. Big save. And he is able to hold on and keep his team within one. Kip, big fake. Goes for the demo again, but Fish can't bury the open net. Look out, transition the other way. Alone. Hammers this one down the corner. He's going to look, grab the boost, and get a pass across Zesty. Not up in time to challenge. And Kip able to send it back out. So some chances missed here for the side of Griffins. But good offensive rotation thus far, Trixie.
And they've played, especially the one thing I will give them credit for, they've kept Kip to a minimum of opportunities, but I'm looking like I'm going to be able to eat my words here, and I almost did as he nailed that one off the post. But the Griffins have played Kip well, and I will say there have been a couple times where they let the ball kind of shut down in the middle of the field, and nobody's really going for it. So, you know, if they can take advantage of that, then they could put up even more on the Krakens right now.
Smartly played there by Alone as he'll drag this one back. Long flick across, still out in front. Kip with a buzzer beater with 4 seconds left as Alone did not want to commit to that original shot downfield in the offensive zone, but Kip taking the space, plays the flick perfectly, and we tie it up in the twilight seconds of this game.
And if he was just a little bit more over top of that, that hits down into the ground, and we have no idea what could happen. Kip still could have had that, knowing how Kip is. But, I mean, that was a clutch goal from him. Now Alone trying to get a dunk, and does. And good demo by Kip to keep that offensive threat away. And he's got the opportunity with a shot, and Alone with a huge save to keep this tied to just 18 seconds into overtime.
Alone bumped into Zesty on his respawn. Still got across Kip with an angle, but not enough as Zesty. Kip tries to free jump the save, and Fish sends it back down. Open net goal, and a transition goal leads to the overtime win here for Krakens.
And I will say, Fish, the ultimate opportunist he is. And you got to feel for Zesty, but 8 shots and only 1 goal to show for it. And I mean, I will say this is probably quite easily the Griffins' most complete game of the series. They held Kip to only 1 goal, and they forced him to play a bit more defense. And, you know, like I said, there was a couple times that they kind of left the ball in open space. Nobody was going after it. But, I mean, other than that, they played well. And if they can build on that, then, I mean, taking the reverse sweep is going to be a challenge in and of itself. But, I mean, if they could keep playing the way they are, they have definitely more of a chance.
I think they do need to focus some shots or some plays down into the offensive zone where kind of Fish is kind of hanging out. If you can force a mistouch out of him and get Kip in a bad position for a save, you can generate a lot of offense going off of that, making sure to get some rotations in and trying to force that same scenario over and over again. But it has been so hard because the one-touch passes from Krakens out of their defensive end have just been nothing short of phenomenal. They just take control of the ball, and then they take every single just micrometer of space that they give you across the field. And Krakens looking to close it out with a 4-game sweep here in a best of 7 versus Griffins in conference finals. So Krakens momentum in their favor after that overtime win, to be sure. Griffins looking to hang on, reverse sweep possibility, as they will need to force a game 7.
I was gonna say, you know, like you said earlier, getting Kip in a bad position is much, much easier said than done, and they're gonna have to try their absolute hardest to get that to happen. Because Kip, I mean, this entire series has been absolutely all over the field, and he's making the most of every opportunity he's been given.
Alone taps this one up. Fish is going to force a soft 50 down in front, and that pass finding nobody as Kip was on the rotation right around midfield. He is just going to try and bait this one out up into his car, and Zesty going to take the space 1v1 against Fish. Short side, back out, and Zesty cuts it away and in.
And what a play! What are the bait from Alone? This was a fantastic play by him, and what What a cut in by Zesty just to sneak it by the body of Fish. And I mean, 45 seconds in, it's looking promising for Griffins. Pretty much every lead they've had, they've ended up giving up eventually in some way, shape, or form. Kip with a shot, and Alone can't get to it in time. And just like that, not even 10 seconds later, and Krakens already tying the game.
Kip, big mind games. He had the flip reset, and Alone knew it. Did not want to challenge him out in front. Tried to wait, and Kip just cuts it under him, waits for that second bounce, and puts it in. And Kip looking to get another one on the scoreboard. Short side, back out in front. Fish, shot, far side. What a save from Zesty, but Kip still back out in front. And Kraken's offense, nothing but relentless.
And Kip probably almost should have had this goal as it was off the post, but way to follow it up for the third attempt that was. And I think Zesty probably should have popped this up a little bit if he could. Just the positioning of the ball probably didn't allow for a whole lot of that, but it's just about getting the most opportune ball placement you can and just trying to get the ball into the corner whenever possible if you're making a save.
Yep, just going to push this one down to the far side. Zesty and try and step into him with the challenge. Kip, the 50. The demo comes out as well as Alone going to take control of this one in the corner. Kip gets a good bump, tries to center this one back out in front for Fish, and Kip, a great solo play, staying aggressive in the corner, gets this initial challenge off the read, and the bump on Zesty, just the icing on the cake.
And it seems like the Krakens right now, they really can do it all. They can play the striking game, they can play the passing game, they can play the bump game, they can play the demo game, they can play all the games, and the Griffins just can't really keep up to any one of them for any extended period of time.
It's just their Kraken's ball control has just been so good. They're so good about placing shots in very hard to reach areas where they can follow up pretty much immediately. And Fish can hammer this one to the far side. Chance here for Griffins. Zesty trying to take this one in. A little air dribble. Looks for the bump, but Kip able to challenge it in time before he could get under it. Kip pre-flip from Fish, looking for the shot, and a little razzle-dazzle coming out of Krakens now as Fish. Good challenge towards mid. Zesty gonna take this one up wall. Fish just gonna retreat as Zesty across that midfield line. Tries to cut it back to the inside. Kip swats this one away. Alone with a chance. Fish last man. Alone trying to dunk it back down in front, and Kip with the save. And now Kip one-on-one. Makes the initial flick. He'll take it to the ground and Alone. Good shadow defense to challenge that one. Alone punches this one past Fish. Now another 2v1. Zesty in midfield. Looks for the pin. Shot on, and Kip with a good read. You'd like to see Griffins maybe try and demo Kip there to try and free that dribble play up towards net. Fish was very behind that play. And Griffins looking for another one. Back down in front. Kip with another. And Fish just going to doink this one down the corner. But Griffins with their chances in this game.
And Fish there gets another one to make it 4-1. And the Griffins, they have some good ideas. They can make these plays, but the Kraken's just faster. They get back to the ball when they need to and exactly where they need to be. And then when that goes in, if you're the Griffins at that point, you do all that. And when that goes in on you, you got to kind of take a look at your team and say, what can we possibly do to get something?
Zesty downfield, and here's that something you're talking about. Open net goal off the transition as Fish bites into corner a little too far. Kip is trying to recover, but just a little late. Good field awareness there by the side of Griffins to get that one in.
And maybe the fast break plays are what they need, but to force many more of those, they're gonna have to play a lot more aggressively. And like we said earlier, try and get the bumps and demos onto Kip, and hopefully they can try and make something work. But Zesty trying to tie it up, bringing the Griffins to within one with 1:18 left to go. And if they keep up this momentum, that is more than enough time to get one, maybe even two.
Yeah, great transition goal there by Griffins again. Kip giving that one away to their player and forcing that 2v1 Fish. Not able to get it on that sidewall. Kip looking to maybe redeem himself. Zesty, great challenge. He's going to be able to get the boost as well. Look out. But Kip, the demo from behind. Smart play as he'll force the 1v1 Fish. Looking for that angle shot. Oh my. Just barely off the mark, and Zesty going to take it over him. Kip with that challenge. Fish last man back. He'll hammer this one to the sidewall alone. Gets a touchdown. Kip. Soft control back in. Zesty. Maybe able to go for a centering ball here. Far side, and Kip with a read. Kip. Can't get the touch. Fish on the far side. Kip looking for the small play as he just let that one drift in. Kip still with control. Looking for the far side pinch. Alone. Back out. Has Zesty. Back down the challenge. Kip. Just going to rotate back around. He got some space in front of him. Zesty. Forces the challenge, but no second man coming now. Kip 1v1 against alone. Flick on it in. And Krakens the 5-3 lead with just 8 seconds left. That one should be the dagger.
And what, I mean, to be fair, I did personally see Griffins taking at least one game out of this, but was there really any doubt that Kip was going to be easily the impact player of the series? This is the final 5 seconds winding down. It's all academic at this point. Zesty, I'm sure, just waiting for it to hit the ground, and there it is. Krakens take the series in 4 even games. And I mean, that was probably, besides a couple of minutes, a couple of moments in game 3, that's about as decisive as you're going to get.
Yeah, Krakens, credit to them, the 4-0 sweep, but Griffins fighting them hard in those last 2 games. They were oh so close. Their shot totals still about the same through those last 2 games as well, but Griffins just come up a little bit short. Not enough quality chances, as Kip was a monster here tonight, as he has been the season MVP thus far, and definitely after padding his stats tonight, I'm sure the aggregate just going a little bit higher for him on that stats page. And Fish, credit to him, played extremely well for as rusty as he had claimed to be. Played a great second man to Kip, able to follow through with a lot of opportunities that were given to him as Kip tried to force some of those 2v1s and commitments out in front. And Fish able to bury a few of the goals that were kind of just thrown back to him at the point. And Griffins dropping that conference finals, and then we will look for Demons and Jade Rabbits next week as well. As I think Demons are going to take it. They're my dark horse team to advance through. I've really liked how that they've kind of adjusted. The addition of Cloud, I think, really kind of augments the Demons playstyle, and Jade Rabbit's going to have a tough matchup ahead of him in that Netherworld Conference Finals. Raw, of course, taking that series 2-1, and they able to kill that short-lived momentum after Tree Folks took down Griffin in that upset last week. And we will look for that Demons versus Jade Rabbits game next week. But guys, Krakens taking the 4-0 sweep of Griffins, and they will head to that Celestial Conference grand finals as the Grand Champ Division finals. I'm sorry. And we will play the Demons versus Jade Rabbits next week. So keep your eyes on the Discord, on the Twitter for more info about that game. But guys, that is going to be all for us tonight. Trixie, my partner in crime, as always, it's been great casting with you. If the players would like to find you on Twitter, they have your link down below. I have been Gilthanes, your main play-by-play MC for the night. You guys can find me down there at my Twitter link as well. And I'm getting close to those 1,000 followers on Twitch. So if you guys could throw me a follow on both of those, I would be much obliged. And follow my main man Trixie as well. But guys, that's going to be it for us tonight. Thank you for joining us. It has been great, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your weekend. So until next time, hope you have a safe night, and we'll see you very soon.